The busy leasing season might be over, but your job as a leasing professional isn't. In fact, this is where the real magic happens. Reflection, reset, and yes, maybe a little reinvention. What worked, what didn't, and what are you willing to try next? Today on Rooms with Ronald Micro Living, we're diving into the art of turning your slow season into your smartest season yet. Hello, welcome to the Rooms with Ronald podcast, brought to you by the Multifamily Media Network. I'm your host, Ronald Harrington. In 2023, I set an intention to shop 100 apartment communities to see how leasing was evolving around the country. Rooms with Ronald was born out of that experience. In this series, I share my experiences and engage in meaningful conversations with other professionals in the industry as we discuss all things related to leasing and marketing. Join in as we expand the Rooms with Ronald experiment. Hi, and welcome to another edition of Rooms with Ronald, the Micro Living series. I'm your host, Ronald Harrington, and in these series, we dive into topics in 10 minutes or less. We have a lot to cover today, so let's go ahead and just jump right in. Guys, you did it. It is October. You survived another busy leasing season. How exciting. But it doesn't stop here. There's a couple things that we need to do to wrap up this season, per se. The first thing is I want you to take a moment and I want you to reflect on your successes. I want you to reflect on your failures. Dive into your CRM. Look and see, what are the numbers telling you? Did you meet the goals? Did you not meet your goals? What are you going to do differently moving forward? Just because busy season ends does not mean that we stop leasing apartments. What this does mean, though, is it allows us to reflect as we move into the slower season. And during my slower season, this is when I like to try new tactics. I like to try new things. So maybe now I want to dive in to using some AI to help me write quality follow-ups. I might test out some here. But before I do any of that, I'm always going back and I'm looking at all the tours I took. I want to know, how did I do? What were my percentages? Did I meet my personal target that I set at the beginning of the year? The people that didn't lease here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to dive into their guest cards. I might look at 10, 15, 20 different guest cards each week to look at, how was my follow-up attempt? Was it good? Did I rely on my AI too much? Did I follow up with them? Those are the kinds of things that I'm looking at in this time of reflection. I want to dive in and I want to say, okay, so I emailed Bobby Smith, and all I did was email. I emailed him 5 times, but I never sent a text. I never phone called. So I'm making my plan, and I'm going to go over to my other sheet of my paper here, and I'm going to say, okay, I need to work on varying my methods of communication. Email wasn't working. Then I might pull a report, and I want to look at open rate. Were people opening my emails? What was that percentage? While then I'm going to find a correlation between the subject line and the open rate. Was there something that no one opened, i.e. thanks for your interest? Was there a subject line that grabbed people and it had a high open rate, like 80, 90%? I'm looking at that. How many times did I contact people? Because I want to know, what is the sweet spot? Did it take me 7 times? Did it take me 12 times? Did it take me 2 times? I want to know, so I know moving forward how many times I need to take. I also want to go into the guest card and I want to look at the notes that I made for each prospect, whether they toured and leased or toured and didn't lease. I want to know, what did I say about them? Did someone move in that had a dog? Maybe I just want to drop them a thank you note for moving in and want to ask them how the dog likes the dog park. Was someone really excited to use the pool? Maybe I want to remind them, of the pool and say, hey, our pool is open year round, or I know it's closed for the season, but remember how much fun you have there. Because what this is doing now is it's taking that information for the people that live there and it's helping build your follow-up case for renewals, right? Because just because leasing season is over doesn't mean that it's too early to be thinking about renewals. Your prospect and your residents have been thinking about the renewal since they moved in. That 24 to 72-hour window is so important to them. This is your chance as you're going through this to make notes of all the things that they love, of what all the people that moved in they loved, right? Because you're going to use that during your conversations every time of renewal. The other thing that this does, allows me to look and say, oh my gosh, that's right. I had 10 people move in last month or this summer or whenever that really raved about the movie theater. So maybe I need to host a Halloween movie night. We could show Hocus Pocus. We could show Halloween Town. We could show anything, right? To get people there because we know that people express that. Or I learned that, oh man, I forgot that we had XYZ people move in that really wanted a wine and canvas night. That's what they loved about their community. So maybe I need to do a wine and canvas night. So I can take all the information that I probably have forgotten because let's be real, you probably toured hundreds of people this season. But I can now take that information and start to plan resident events that cater to my prospect because we know that's what they want. They want a sense of community. They want to feel what it's like to live here in this community. I probably don't do a great job keeping track of it during the busy season. I personally don't because I'm so busy. It's tour after tour, follow-up after follow-up that I don't remember it all. So let me reflect. And maybe this is the great time just to touch in. You don't want anything. You don't want to ask for money. You're not asking them to renew. You're just picking up the phone and you're calling and saying, hey, I'm so excited you moved in June. Can you believe it's already October? I just wanted to see how things are going. Are you glad you chose us? The other thing that I'm doing during this time is I'm asking for feedback on my performance. So if I'm calling a resident who moved in, hey, why did you choose us? How did I do as your leasing agent? Was I part of the reason you chose here? Maybe you have some tours that you built a great connection with that just didn't lease there for whatever reason, that you can pick up the phone and call them back and say, hey, I know you didn't choose me, but I wanted to A, make sure you found a place. That's good customer service. But B, I just want to know, like, how did I do? Like, what could I have done differently to get you to lease here? And that part, you don't have to wait on until, slow season. You can ask this every single time you talk to someone that tells you they have leased elsewhere. Hey, what could I have done differently? What could I have done better? It's those little touches that no one does. It's these little things that we don't reflect on and reset on, that we just continue doing the same thing over and over and over again. We made it through the busy season. Now use the data, tell the story, learn about yourself, learn what you learned, use what you learned from your move-ins to curate experiences and events that they will want to come to build that sense of community. Take time to talk to them, see what they liked about it, about you and your touring, and try new things. This is it. Like, try something new this week. Try to use ChatGPT for a follow-up. Try to call someone first instead of emailing them. Every week that you try something new, you learn, does it work? Does it not work? And it's not just a one-time try. You need to try a couple different times until you really know that it's tested and it doesn't work, or it's tested and it works. Leasing is very subjective, and this is your time to experiment with our prospects. Well, there you have it, guys. Today we are talking about the end of leasing season and a time of reflection and a time to reset. Until next time, you've been listening to Rooms with Ronald, the micro living series. I'm your host, Ronald Harrington. Happy leasing. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope I left you with some fresh ideas or a new perspective. Leasing and marketing are evolving rapidly, and Rooms with Ronald is committed to offering a place to hear about those changes. We also celebrate and acknowledge the fundamentals of exceptional service that will never go out of style. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, or subscribe. Visit multifamilymedianetwork.com to learn more about our other exceptional industry podcasts, call pieces, and sponsorship opportunities.